So Seven tells me, he goes, hey, we're gonna do some wild stuff up there. So don't eat a lot, because if you eat a lot, you will definitely throw up. And I go, oh, wow. What if I throw up? He goes, I'll give you a little baggie, and you can puke in that. I go, thanks, dog. What if I shit? And he goes, people don't shit. You don't know who you're talking to right now, do you? Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thanks. Yeah, I love you too. You're so well behaved. That's great. It's not always like this. You know that, right? We had a fight in the front row last week at a show. Yeah, and you fucking notice when it's in the front row. You notice. And normally we try to put that out pretty quickly, but the guy that started the fight was just so old. When security descended upon him, I was just like, wait, like, let him do it, It's probably his last fight, I'm sure it was. He was very old, and he was punching another guy, but he was making like old sounds as he was like, ugh. Like it was. Even the guy getting hit was like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't feel this. And then the older guy, he just kind of tuckered out, he just, and he's just kind of faded. And then as security was escorting him up the aisle, I looked and I was like, oh, I think that's a woman. It was the hair. You know how women will sometimes hit a certain age where they don't want you to try to fuck them anymore, and the hair goes first. They just go, and then we all go, oh yeah, don't try to touch her. I got it. This goes, the vagina closes, the hair goes, and we all go, she's off limits. So, whoever it was, rest in peace. I just got back from my favorite place. I was in Italy, which I absolutely love. Yeah. It's the greatest. It is the greatest. And, my phone knows that I love Italy, just like our phones know everything about us now. It was fun, I think, about a decade ago when we would, kind of debate, wouldn't it be crazy if this thing was listening to everything that we said? And then now we're like, oh yeah, this records everything. Everything I say, text, think, it's just there. I mean, unless you're one of these people who happens to believe, you're like, oh yeah, I was having a conversation with someone about a bread basket from Croatia in the 1700s, and then I opened my Gmail, and it was like, you looking for a Croatian bread basket? You're like, isn't that a wild coincidence? Like, oh. I talk about Italy all the time, and every time I open my phone, social media is just Italy. It's Italian landscapes, Italian recipes, Italian women's feet, and I go, like, right? But whenever I see landscape shots of Italy, there's always a guy on a Vespa. Those little scooters, and they're zipping around, and they're dreaming of marinara, or whatever they do. Yeah. And whenever I see a guy on a Vespa, internally to myself, I go, that's gay, right? But when you're there and you see one, you're like, no one will know, right? So I rented one, and it was the single most joyful experience of my entire life, including the birth of my children. It was fucking amazing. I was making up reasons to take that thing out. I was just like, we don't have any butternut squash. I gotta go. A couple days into it, I started making up a narrative in my head. I was like, yeah, this is the same as a Harley. This is the same shit. This is my hog. Another day went by. I was like, I am getting one of these as soon as I get back. I started shopping online. I was like, do I want a blue one? Yeah. Do I want a basket? Fuck yeah, I want a basket on that. And then I got back to the US of A. And within moments, I was like, oh, there's not a fucking chance. Like, I'll get beat to death at a red light in one of these. And that's when you realize that Vespas are the pickleball of the motorbike world. They just are. Yeah. It is simply a substitute for the real thing. Just say you suck at tennis, you fucking cuck. Like, nobody wants to hear that you're excelling at a make-believe sport. Now, no, but it's so social. Anyone can do it. That's why you do it. You're soft. Now, I did something very, very fun recently. I got to fly with the Blue Angels. I don't know if you know what that is. Oh, wow. Wow. For those of you that don't know, that is the U.S. Navy's aerial show program. They put on shows all over our country that are unbelievable. These are elite fighter pilots that are flying in fighter jets 18 inches apart, and they do these wild acrobatic stunts. And I went to the show, and it was amazing. And then afterwards, I met one of the organizers, and very casually, I was like, yeah, I wish I could go up in one of those. And they were like, yeah, you can. And I go, what the fuck, really? And they go, yeah, if you come to Pensacola, Florida. And I was like, ugh. Okay. So I went to Florida. I went to the base, and I met one of the pilots. This dude looked like he was designed in a lab, and then AI just shit him out, okay? This is one of the most beautiful men. I think about this guy every day, okay? My last thought before I go to bed at night is his jawline, and then I go, I fall asleep. So I walk up to him, I go, hey, I'm Tom. And he goes, I'm 7. Whatever you say, Daddy. If you're a 7, I'd hate to meet a 10. You know what I mean? So 7 tells me, he goes, hey, we're gonna do some wild stuff up there. So don't eat a lot, because if you eat a lot, you will definitely throw up. And I go, oh, wow. What if I throw up? He goes, I'll give you a little baggie, and you can puke in that. I go, thanks, dog. What if I shit? He goes, people don't shit. You don't know who you're talking to right now, do you? Well, we went up for 45 minutes. We flew vertically, we did barrel rolls, we flew Mach 1.2, we pulled 7.5 Gs. It was the most thrilling 45 minutes of my entire life. But when I got back, I realized something. I realized that we are the only country on Earth where when you see a fleet of fighter jets approaching, you know something cool is gonna happen. It's just us. Right? Like, dude, we send them to the Daytona 500 to kick shit off so that every asshole there can go, look at that. That's fucking cool. You're like, yeah, here. But if you're in the Hindu Kush province of Afghanistan and you see 7 F-22s, you're not like, oh yeah, today's the race. You know, you just go, ugh. And that's it. That's the last fucking sound you ever make before you hear, and then there goes your mom's village. All right, so USA. Now, well, sure. Why not? You know, I didn't puke and I didn't shit, but when I was in Houston about a month ago, I sharted. Here's what happened. If you were gonna make a list of the best places to shart, and I don't know why you would, but if you did, number 1 is the bathroom. And that's where I was. I was in a public restroom, and I was at the urinal. I was just enjoying a delightful afternoon pee, you know? Like a 90-second one, you know? Where your mind just kind of goes, stream of consciousness takes over, you're just lost, and you're like, are birds real or are they honing devices? I don't know. Jesus, how big were Aretha Franklin's tits, you know? You ever think about that? Everyone talks about Dolly Parton's tits. Do you ever look at Aretha Franklin's tits. It looked like she was nursing seal pups. It's insane. If she couldn't sing, she'd be serving lunch. You know what I mean? Those are some tits. So, I'm pissing, and it's great. My wife always gives me shit, by the way. She's like, you enjoy your bodily functions so much. And I'm like, why don't you just let me live my life? I mean, I do like peeing. I like sneezing more. If you don't enjoy an open air, reckless, violent sneeze, you're a fucking communist, okay? It's the best. Yeah. You know what I mean? No one's around. You go, like one of those, you're like, what the fuck? Don't talk to me. I love it. Cumming's the best. If we're obviously, I'm not going to argue that point. So I go cumming, sneezing, nice pee, emergency shit. I really like stretching in bed right after I wake up, and then it sends you back to sleep because it feels like fentanyl or something. I don't know. I like it. I like sitting on the couch on a Sunday and just a nice pinch and roll on my beanbag, you know? Just... This is free? This is crazy. I wish it were Seven's hand, but this feels good, you know? I know a lot of ladies get jealous about that, and honestly, you shouldn't. I've seen what many of you have there, and there's plenty to pull, so you could also just tug on that taffy bag and see where it takes you. Yeah. And don't you dare get insecure, okay? You ladies do that to each other. We never care. It could have teeth and we try to get in there. We don't care. All I'm saying is that, ladies, I want you to leave here tonight knowing that you all have beautiful pussies, okay? Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I'm peeing, right? And as I'm peeing, I feel something, you know, in the chamber. And I'm polite, so I do the polite thing. I look around, and there's nobody in there. So I tell myself, it's okay, buddy. Why don't you give it a push? And I did, and there was no sound. None. But there was movement. So now I have to check. Do you know how you have to check in that situation? You have to take your pants all the way down. Like a fucking toddler. Like I was like... So now I'm just Winnie the Pooh in it, in a t-shirt. Like, hi. Hello. My little dick's hanging out. Hello. And then I look into my boxers and I'm like, yep, I'm throwing those out. And then I clean up, and then I leave the restroom, and all my friends are waiting outside, and I immediately tell them what happened. And they're like, I don't want to know this. And I go, well, I'm telling you. And they go, well, stop. And I go, I'm not. You already know now. And in that exchange, something clicked. I put it together. I didn't shart. I had simply shit my pants. Yeah. I mean... That's an important distinction, right? A shart would imply that I had farted and that there were some DVD extras in there. I took a shit with my pants on. It would be no different than if right now I were standing here like, I think I'm gonna take a shit right now. And then I just kept talking. So it's fucked with my confidence, but I'm back, baby. I am fucking back. Yes.